Just to wrap up now, a family of tourists are quite literally terrorising the whole of New Zealand.
Authorities have now caught up with a group of British travellers.
Leave that for us to clean up now.
It's not my uncle. Knock your brakes down.
The family have been involved in a string of incidents.
The group has already been accused of littering, abuse and dining and dashing.
Why did you steal the Red Bull?
Stealing a Christmas tree.
What do you say to businesses who say you've been ripping them off? Are you staying here in New Zealand for much longer?
I'll be happy when the family is left.
They claimed they were Irish when they're actually British.
Have you been trying to rip businesses off around Auckland?
The people are behaving worse than pigs, and actually we'd like to see them out of the country.
The family, for their part, say they were just in New Zealand to, quote, see the hobbits.
I had been in New Zealand for a short period of time before the unruly tourists arrived. The thing that caught my attention first was their bad behaviour. Secondly was how that set off quite a bit of bad behaviour in everyone else around the country.
Are you going home soon? How would you describe your trip here?
Police are urging the public not to take any action themselves against the group of unruly travellers.
Terrified of our life, you know. We actually felt that we've been treated as animals.
When the unruly tourists were in the news, I was actually on holiday, but it was really a story you couldn't escape.
A group of travellers who have left a trail of chaos along their way.
They are being tracked and action is being taken against them.
We are a respectable family. We are a British family who come here to see New Zealand, see the hobbits and see the mountains.
All they wanted was a great holiday. Cost them a lot. They wanted to see some cool things around the country, go to some beaches, you know, eat at some nice restaurants. And New Zealand wasn't having a bar of that.
My recollection begins with the events at Takapuna Beach, and somebody took some images of people who'd left a lot of rubbish on the beach.
We saw the littering and the bad attitude around that, but then the more we found out about that family, the more appalled we became.
They made pigsties wherever they went, and they went to restaurants and didn't pay.
Apartment was totally a mess. Broken TV, damaged. Even the toilet was leaking.
The group put ants in their meal to avoid paying the bill.
At least 7 different Auckland restaurants and cafes.
They pushed food into my hands and then ran out the door.
If we argument goes for longer, then definitely they will gonna punch to my staff, yeah.
We turned on them because of their behaviour, and their behaviour contravened some norms.
They didn't engender a great feeling of pity or anything.
Get out! Wait for me!
It was the combination of not being a tidy Kiwi and then like a kid being smart to an adult when put up about it.
I was a teacher and a kid talking to an adult like that was quite shocking to me, but the rubbish didn't really upset me that much because people in New Zealand are filthy animals as well.
First, I remember thinking how amazing it is that the people of New Zealand have risen up and called out bad behaviour.
Everywhere they went, they ripped people off. You know, you go into a restaurant and you end up refusing to pay because you find an excuse not to. You go into a service station and you even steal their Christmas tree. I mean, that's pretty low.
It became like a travelling roadshow, didn't it? That wherever they went, whatever they did, there were people who just chased them everywhere and took images.
Are you going home soon?
I'm going home tomorrow.
You're going home tomorrow?
Yeah.
Had enough?
There was so little going on, it filled a bit of a vacuum. If it hadn't been for people's ability to film these people and for it to go viral and then the media to seize on it, we would have missed out on possibly the most entertaining summer story we'd had for years.
Are you staying here in New Zealand for much longer?
I started to think about the comic potential of what was happening. And whilst I recognised that for many people it wasn't funny, there was nevertheless something very strange, very funny about the media creating a story that summer.
Plead your case or leave. Today, police and immigration officials hand-delivered that message to the family of tourists who've outraged Kiwis with their lack of respect for people and property. They came to public attention after refusing to clean up their litter at Takapuna Beach.
I was shocked at how feral and angry everyone got about like one particular group of people, because it's not like that doesn't happen every day in Takapuna.
Look, I think they were victims of what can easily happen, which is a social media pile-on. Generally, if someone sees something as bad, it's very black and white. It's all bad, they're bad, we're all good, and we'll all pile on to them.
The people of New Zealand were having none of it, none of that bad behaviour, which in a way I thought was quite admirable.
I was one of the New Zealand public. I was the one that called them scrotes. So, my bad.
There's a little bit of cultural cringe that we have, and one of the things we like people to do is to like us in our country.
And these tourists didn't seem to like us because they didn't treat our land very well. It's like what they acted out was that we suck, that New Zealand sucks in some way. And so of course we hate them, because we can say we suck, but nobody else better say we suck.
You know, we're a long way from anywhere. Does anybody take any notice of us? Do they know about us? And there's a sort of vague sense that we're a vaguely interesting place with some nice people in it. But we need that to be confirmed.
You know, we had a couple of million tourists a year, and I know when I meet somebody from overseas, I ask them where they come from, what they do, and we like to make them feel welcome. But we hate it when our hospitality is abused. It's like having a house guest that then trashes your house. And what are you going to do? You tell them to bugger off.
We don't want those people in this country. They are rip-off merchants. I'd like to see those people, I regard them as trash, out of our country as soon as possible.
There's all a big misunderstanding, and I believe we've been treated very bad, and I believe we should be just left alone, and we're badly bullied.
The Unruly Tourists strikes me as somewhat Shakespearean. For several reasons. Shakespeare has an ability to capture huge epic sweep, but also individuality of character.
How would you describe your trip here?
Their visas have now been revoked and they've been ordered to leave the country.
So I'm watching this incredible drama unfold in real life, in real time, in New Zealand. And moments later, I'm thinking, this would make a fantastic comic opera.